A lot of other Etsy courses and videos out there will do a good job teaching you how to set up your Etsy shop. However, if you don't apply the content of this video, your Etsy business will not be nearly as successful. So grab the PDF that I've provided in the resources below and let's talk about brand and niche. First, why should you choose a niche? I want you to have this in mind. The product that appeals to everyone appeals to no one. When you choose a niche, that gives you authority. For example, would you rather have your brain surgery done by a brain doctor or by a general doctor? My guess is you would choose the brain doctor. They have put so much time and effort into studying exactly everything that they're going to need for your brain surgery, and they have not wasted any time studying about everything else they're not going to need for the surgery, or any types of epidemic diseases or trauma or anything else that a general doctor would have to study for. Now, a less dramatic example. Would you rather hire for your wedding a wedding videographer or a videographer that does all kinds of occasions? They do graduations, birthdays, newborns, everything. My guess is you would rather choose the wedding videographer. You're going to have a lot more trust that they're going to be offering the best type of product and service for your situation. And the same will apply for your Etsy shop. When buyers sees that you have developed a whole brand and different types of product around that same topic, they will think that you have put the most amount of time and effort into developing the best possible product to offer them. And that brings me to the next point, which is focus. When you choose a niche, you're gonna have a lot more time to really understand that topic, that audience, to really differentiate your product and look at the competition and see what other people are not offering and what you can offer on your own products, and that's going to give you an advantage. Not only it's going to save you time, but it's also going to allow you to offer the best possible product, and that comes with a higher price point that buyers are willing to pay for the best possible product. Because if you were selling, for example, wedding invitations and pet supplies and home decor, you would not have the same amount of focus and the same amount of time to dedicate to every single one of those categories in order to really develop the authority and the best possible product for every single one of those niches. And that will also play a part when you're developing your brand package. Nowadays, if you have any type of business, you're probably going to need a presence in different social media platforms. You're going to want to develop a brand logo, the brand voice and values and the style of your brand. And when you're focusing on the same niche, that makes it 1,000 times easier. Not only will save you time because you don't have to create all of these different brands for these different niches, but it's also going to help develop a very successful brand package and then use the same content that you use across different platforms. And then last but not least, when you choose a niche, you make it so much easier for you to scale your business. It's so much easier to develop new products or create bundles, because once you put all of the effort to attracting a customer to your shop or listing, they're now going to be a lot more likely to buy your other products because it's all within the same niche. If they're interested in wedding invitations, maybe they're going to be interested in a wedding planner template as well, because that's going to serve them for the same situation. So now you see that choosing a niche is the way to go. But how do you go about actually choosing your niche? I would suggest that you grab the PDF provided now and then start filling out and brainstorming ideas. And I would suggest you start with your own interests. I'm guessing that if you're starting this business, this Etsy business, you want to have passion for what you're developing and the products that you're putting out there. You don't want to invest time every single day on something that you don't really care about. Also, when you go about choosing a niche around your interests, that's going to give you a lot more motivation into developing a brand package. You're going to have more insight into the audience that you're serving. So I would highly recommend that you start listing your own interests. And then after you do that, the next step would be to validate those options. So how you go about that would be doing some market research. And I'm going to show you guys some really helpful tools that can assist you in finding out what is in high demand. From all of those options of your interest, you can use some tools to actually validate and see if other people would be interested in that topic as well, for you to develop your brand around it. And then last but not least, you want to consider the long-term strategy. So let's say you're a graphic designer and you want to offer wedding invitations, as we've been talking about. Would you want to do that for a long time? Or do you see yourself creating new templates every week or developing new things around the latest trends around that topic, around weddings and wedding invitations or wedding stationery? If the answer is yes, then that makes your niche a much more viable option because you won't burn out so easily and you're going to be able to scale your business a lot more easily as well. And after you've chosen your niche, now you can start developing your target audience. So in business, in order for you to succeed, you always need to have your customer in mind. And that's no different for your Etsy shop. So I would encourage you to create an ideal customer avatar in your mind. So you always have them in mind in order to know how to best serve them with your products. That does not mean that every single customer of your shop is going to fall under those categories, but it's very important that you figure out who is your ideal customer or who is the majority of the customers that are going to be interested in your products so you can really target them when you're marketing your products. So you can start by thinking about their demographics, what age they are, their relationship status, their gender, if their household income, if they have kids or no kids. Start putting together what you think your ideal customer or the customer that is going to be most interested in your brand and the products that you have to offer. Where do they fall into? Next, think about their interests and hobbies. What other things are they interested in? So, for example, let's say you are offering wedding invitations or wedding planners, something in the wedding category. What other things are they might be interested in? Maybe they're searching for honeymoon ideas, or most likely they don't have kids yet and they're just starting to have to put their own house together. You can start thinking about other interests that they might have when they're coming to your Etsy shop. Another very important thing, and this is like the key to success for any business, is for you to find out what are their pain points. What is your audience really looking for that they cannot find? Why would they be searching for your product? What is lacking in their lives, or what would you be solving with your product? For example, would you be giving them ease by creating a wedding planner instead of them being very disorganized and stressed out? You will be solving that problem, and now it's going to be easy for them to check off every single item that they need to complete before their wedding day. So think about their pain points and their desires. So every pain point comes from a desire to have an incredible wedding without being stressful, or a desire to be admired by all of your guests in being very unique when planning your wedding and all that. Just be sure you actually take the time to brainstorm and figure out the biggest pain points and desires that your audience would have. Also, why would they choose your products? How would your products serve them? Or why would they choose your product and not your competitors? When you start thinking about those things, you start realizing that you need to offer value to that customer. And that's going to help you develop the best possible product. That's going to help you look at your products, at your competitor's product, and see what it's missing and what your audience is not getting when they're purchasing the product, so you can offer that instead. And then last but not least, think about where your target audience is. What other platforms are they at? Or other social media platforms, or where else are they shopping? That's going to help you not only to develop ideas on to best serve them, but It's going to help you figure out how you're going to attract them, which platforms your brand needs to have a presence in order to find those customers and bring them to your Etsy shop. And then after you've done all that, you can start truly developing your brand. You can start thinking about your brand values and what you want your brand to represent. You can also think about your brand style. What do you think your customers are going to be drawn to? Do you want to offer products that are more minimalist and modern, or do you want something more bold and edgy or retro? Start thinking about what is going to attract this ideal customer that you have developed. And then what most people think about when they think about brand would be the colors, logo, fonts, all of that visual brand package side of it. Now, I know that there's a lot more that goes into developing a brand, but unfortunately, we cannot cover all of it in this Etsy course. However, we do have an amazing course here on Udemy talking all about business branding and how to create a successful brand that stands out from your competition. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to leave the link of that course in the resources below. And as I said, I would highly recommend that you invest some time into this topic and developing a strong brand before you open your Etsy shop. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, be sure to leave those in the Q&A below, and let's go ahead and get to the next video.